Hello, race fans, and welcome once again to the Apex This iRacing League. We're here with the Supercar Roof Series, Season 3, round number 9. This is our last installment here at Spa Francorchamps this week. And the guys, they've got a cool track out there today, 65 degrees air temperature. Wind, it was 6 miles an hour. It died down a little bit earlier during practice and back up to 6 miles an hour once again. The track temperature is a little better now. It was in the high 60s earlier. Now it's up to 72 degrees. So that probably should help them get some some temperature in those tires, helping with the grip levels here. And the guys there have about 5 minutes to go in qualifying. And while they're wrapping that up, let's take a look at some of the practice results here. In the RUF class, Jeremy Haslam, he leads Jordan Johnson by 1.8 seconds. Brandon Piper's third quickest in practice, followed by Steve Coubet, Eric Elkins, Lincoln Russell, Carlos Lopez, Bjorn Benches, John Stapp, Aiden Meek, and Joseph Mayer. In the Supercar division, Dustin Burkhalter was just 15 hundredths quicker than Tommy Regan, who came second in practice, followed by Corey Mitchell just over a second. Troy Banks, the top four there, you can see less than a second apart from each other. So it's pretty darn tight up there at the top in the Supercar division, at least in practice anyway. And we'll see what happens here shortly once the qualifying is wrapped up here, and we'll take a look at the starting grid. They say Spa Francorchamps is a driver's track, and I tell you, it is one of the favorites that people love to come to. Definitely enjoyed by the drivers. There's Jordan Johnson. He's currently running third in the RUF class. And we've got about, like I say, we're getting close to wrapping things up here. There's Aiden Meek. Also, he's seventh fastest, still seventh fastest there. There's Kent Kruger in one of the Supercars. Guys getting these final laps in here. See Eric Elkins, he's in the pits, so it might be getting ready to roll over to the race server here. There's Randy Mathis, currently fifth fastest in the Supercars. Oh, round he goes there a little bit. Good job hanging on to it. I mean, the guys, they're running right on the limit there. And we're gonna, we've got some of the guys in the server tonight. Be good if we could, maybe we can get a chance to speak to some of them before the race begins here. I'm gonna try to see if I can find somebody who's not on track here. Let's see. It looks like maybe Brandon Piper is not on track. We'll go ahead and see if we can get him up here to the broadcast booth, see if he's there.
No, it's a main job. So.
Hey, Brandon, this is Tony Rice up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, yeah, no, I hear you loud and clear. What's up, man?
Oh, pretty good, man. Yeah, you guys, how things looking out there today for you?
Looking pretty good. I got jumped a little late into practice, so I didn't really get to set up the car as well as I wanted to. But hey, it's just all about being consistent. So.
Oh yeah. Is that I saw that the temperatures were a little cooler earlier. Is it helping now that it's getting up into the 70s?
Yeah, no, I seem to be running a little bit faster on lap times with it, so I would say so. Just like say again, back to just being smooth. That's like key with these cars for sure.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, man. Well, we wish you good luck, and I'm gonna put you back down there in the. Did you any particular channel that you want to be in, or?
You can throw me back in the lounge. I think we were just in there chit chatting a little bit. I think we're about to start. So
Right. Yeah, I think getting ready to take the field. Well, good luck to you, buddy, and
thank you,
we'll
sir. Appreciate it, man.
all right, now take it easy. That was Brandon Piper there, and as he said, the guys are getting ready to roll over to the start server here. Let's take it live here. Folks are getting ready to cars are getting ready to enter the track here. Here the guys starting to line up. As you know, the supercars they start ahead of the RUF division, and they have two separate pace cars. They will space them out, and so the supercars will take off first. And while they're getting ready to roll out here, let's go ahead and take a look at your starting positions here. Okay, Corey Mitchell is on the pole, and he's got Dustin Burkhalter next to him. Ismail Sierra third, Tommy Regan fourth, Randy Mathis in fifth position, Kent Kruger sixth, Martin Roy is seventh, Troy Banks eighth, Andy Rasmussen ninth, Michael Bond rounds out the top 10. We have Gavin Boyette in 11th, Jaron Haslam is in 12th. In 13th position, we have Carlos Lopez. Jordan Johnson starts 14th. Brandon Piper 15th. We have Steve Kubay in 16th position. Eric Elkins is in the 17th. 18th, we have John Stapp. Aiden Meek is starting 19th position. Bjorn Benches will be starting 20th position. 21st, Joseph Mayer. And rounding out the field is Lincoln Russell. Waiting for the rest of the cars to enter the track. Looks like everybody's just about there. There go the lights, and they're going to start rolling off here. They're kind of like back on the back side of the course here, and they will be coming around the last couple of turns, go through that bus stop chicane, and hit that hairpin turn at the front, and we'll be underway here. That's Corey Mitchell leading the field there. Look like, and we're green and racing at Spa. Mitchell and Burkhalter taking it down hard to turn one there. And they're bunched up, and there's Ismail Sierra trying to get up there in the mix there. He's side by side with Burkhalter. And as they go through Eau Rouge, boy, that's a tight place to go side by side through there, and they all get through cleanly. A lot of traffic coming down the front stretch here. Your leader, Corey Mitchell, he's got a little bit of breathing room as they go down into this right-hander here. Mitchell got almost a 2-second gap already on second place Ismail Sierra. Sierra's being put under heavy pressure by the rest of the supercars. Burkhalter, Regan Mathis, Kruger, Rasmussen, Martin Roy, Troy Banks, and Michael Bond. And they're all right there together, folks. Looking back at the roof cars, Jerem Haslam, he's already pulled 3 seconds ahead of Jordan Johnson. Closing in on the first of the Supercars there, now only 6 seconds behind. Johnson, he's under heavy pressure by Jordan Piper there. I'm sorry, Brandon Piper. They make their way around to the bus stop chicane here. Fast sweeping left-hand turns there. Johnson has a bit of a gap. Here's Steve Kube, and he's got Eric Elkins on his tail. These guys are really going at it. Back up the front, Corey Mitchell, he continues to lead, now 3.5 seconds ahead of Regan. Regan has gotten around Ismail Sierra there, sliding through Eau Rouge. Sierra trying to keep pace, but he has developed a bit of a gap between the 13 car and him. Andrew Rasmussen there, he's got a bit of pressure there. Troy Banks. In fact, Banks actually did just go past him there as they went to that turn there. Well, I think I've ever seen the cars so close together after the restart. I mean, these guys were really right on top of each other. There's going to be a lot of hard racing tonight, folks. Banks working hard on the rear bumper there of Martin Roy. These left and right turns here are so flat, no camber, no banking, I mean, to help the cars out. You can see Roy runs a little wide there. Meanwhile, a little further back, there's Aiden Meek in one of the rough cars. Now, he's got a bit of a pad between him and Bjorn Benches. Elkins 2 seconds down the road ahead of him there. There's Benches under heavy pressure from Carlos Lopez. Lopez looking on the inside of that fast left-hander. He takes the position. Benches trying to fight back. They go down to the bus stop chicane. Oh, boy, that's going to be tight. Lopez manages to hold on. Great racing. Crosses the line in 7th position. That, of course, that is a battle for both class position and overall position. Lopez running 7th in class, 14th overall. I mean, and the guys there just a little further back here. There's John Stapp. He's running 9th position in class. Now, Ismail Sierra, he went into the pits and looked like he's just coming out now. Not sure why he pitted so soon. And he's out and running now. He's down in 8th position in class, but all the way down in 17th place overall, and just completely left by the field there. Meanwhile, back up the front, here's Troy Banks. He's running in 4th position overall. Trying to close in on Martin Roy. There's Andrew Rasmussen. We have a few more Holdens out there. Usually, most of the races that we've seen, we had the Ford Mustangs and the roof cars, the Porsches. But looks like we've got about 5 Holden Commodore machines out there, and that's one of them there being driven by Andrew Rasmussen. In fact, your leader, Corey Mitchell, is driving a Holden today. He's maintaining a over 2-second gap ahead of Regan. Regan's trying to claw at that gap. He's gaining just a little bit of time. Okay, we got reports that Elkins crashed. Let's see if we can see what happened there. Here's the replay. Going through bus stop chicane there. And he looped it coming out of the chicane and didn't actually hit the wall at all. Oh boy, he got it righted right in front of Bjorn Benches, and I couldn't see who else that was, but nobody got any damage there. Elkins running 7th position in class, 11th place overall. We have Burkhalter here. He's running 4th in class, and actually he's 5th place overall. That's 4th in class, and he's got Troy Banks behind him. And that is a battle for position. This is a 40-minute timed event, and we're just about 9 minutes in, 4 laps on the books already. Burkhalter sliding it through the turns there. A little further back in the field, there's Brandon Piper in one of the rough cars, and in fact, he's got another rough in front of him. Jordan Johnson, they're running down one of the supercars there. Coming down to the bus stop chicane. Oh, and somebody peeled off. That was Andrew Rasmussen. He decided that he's going to come in now for, better to hit the cone than the wall, I guess. And coming in for either tires or fuel or both. Troy Banks continues to run 5th place overall, 4th in class. Burkhalter has managed to get away from him a little bit. Now he's trying to put pressure on Martin Roy for that 3rd position. And you have a nice battle between Steve Coubet trying to run down Tommy Regan here, less than a couple of tenths of a second behind. Now it's about a half a second. And Regan runs a little wide. Looks like Coubet might be able to press this advantage, and he does. He picks up that 4th position. Regan falls to 5th. And that's actually they actually are still in the same. Those are class positions that we're looking at there, 4th and 5th. That wasn't a battle for actual. Actually, it was a battle for on-track position, but not in class. They're actually running 8th and 9th respectively there. A little further back here is Aiden Meek. He's continuing to go along here, 7th in class, 13th overall. John Stapp, 2 seconds behind. Eric Elkins, 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds ahead. There's Carlos Lopez. He's trying to catch Stapp. He's less than almost within a half second. Oh no! And that was Stapp there. Looks like he kind of went through that chicane a little hot. Let's see it again here. He made the right and getting on the, well, even before he started to turn left, and he might have clipped the rumble strip there, and sometimes that can happen. It'll upset the car, and then around you go. Stapp now running 9th in class, 15th overall. Your leader, Corey Mitchell, continues to enjoy well, that gap is not too far away now. Haslam is less than 4 seconds behind. He's trying to reel him in. There he is. And, oh, he's having a little bit of connection problems there. His car is popping in and out a little bit. We may not be able to stay locked on him if he keeps popping in and out like that. Let's go back to Mitchell here. And you don't see, there he is there, and sometimes they have those connection issues. 1 second he's there, and see, there he popped out again. And that can be a nerve-wracking thing for a driver, especially if you are behind him. And also on a road course, that can really get kind of nerve-wracking. But fortunately for Mitchell, he's in a place where it won't matter for him. But Haslam is closing in on him. Now just over 2 seconds behind. Let's take a look at their lap time history here, see what we can see. And Mitchell, see laps 3 through 6. Haslam has definitely been quicker, as much as 3 seconds quicker in laps 5 and 6. Boy, at that pace, and you can see how quickly he's closing in on Mitchell there. That's seems like it's just going to be a matter of time. We're now 15 minutes into this 40-minute event. They don't have a lot of time to catch the leaders. So if you're going to do it, you have to do it quickly. Battle for the overall first position, and this is these are the leaders of both classes of cars. Supercar versus the RUF cars. There's been some conjecture here who is actually the fastest. On paper, the Supercars are faster. Haslam's going to have something to say about that here as he wheels right on by Mitchell. Jaron Haslam, your new leader, on lap 7. 16 minutes into this 40-minute event. And he is just gradually, now he's a second ahead of Mitchell, and he is just ever so slightly just pulling away. See a little further behind here. There's Brandon Piper. He's got his hands full there with Troy Banks, Steve Coubet, and Martin Roy. Johnson, Piper, and Coubet, that's a battle for both position and class position. Troy Banks, he's the only supercar in that group. Boy, these guys are getting a heck of a draft on each other coming down this stretch here. Good racing all over the track. Let's go a little further back here. There's Elkins. And he's got Bjorn Benches behind him, and behind him is Carlos Lopez. Lopez running 7th place in class, but 13th overall. And we're seeing a really good mix. Earlier in the season, we noticed that a lot of the rough cars would eventually catch the supercars, and it would end up all the rough cars at the front. But yeah, we've got a nice mix going throughout the field here at Spa today. Rough leads got a Holden Commodore, which is classed with the supercars. A couple of more roughs than a supercar, and rough, and then a few more supercars. And yeah, it's really, in fact, the supercars are just about the majority of the top 10. It's like 6 supercars and 4 rough cars in the top 10 there. Lopez, he did get by Benches there. Now trying to close in on Elkins. And boy, I tell you, they're really rattling these laps off quickly, folks. Now 9 in the books, and they're coming as they cross the line. It'll be lap 9 for them. The leader's already crossed. Speaking of which, let's see how Jaron Haslam is doing. He's pretty much checked out from Corey Mitchell there, over 5 seconds. Mitchell, he's looking pretty good in 2nd position there. 5 behind Haslam, but 8 ahead of Jordan Johnson. And Johnson himself is looking not too bad, over 1.5 seconds ahead of Brandon Piper there. There's Piper trying to chase him down. And we're just now at the halfway point, 20 minutes in of the 40-minute event. You're watching the Apex This iRacing League Supercar Roof Series. This Season 3, round number 9 here at Spa Francorchamps. Looking a little further back in the field, here's John Stapp. He's showing 9th. We're not showing any retirements. Andrew Rasmussen, he's a ways back there. Well, actually, he's not even. I'm not even think he's on the same lap. Timing and scoring is showing him the guys front and behind him in red, meaning that they're a lap ahead of him. And sometimes it will also show you that when they're getting close to getting lapped. See, that's Rasmussen, and then And you look at the track map there, you'll see Haslam all the way at the right side of the map. He's going around the hairpin, so that's why it's scoring Rasmussen as pretty much a lap down, because Haslam is like 12 seconds behind him. So if he continues to close in, which it kind of looks like he is, maybe in a couple of more laps, Andrew Rasmussen may end up actually going a lap down. Now, we do have some retirements. We are showing some retirements here now. Joseph Mayer, matter of fact, Sierra, he's out. Mathis is out. Bond is out. Gavin Boyette is out. Lincoln Russell is out. And I'm wondering if they actually started the race or not. That was Troy Banks. He's the meat and the sandwich there, chasing Roy with Regan behind him. It seems like the clouds are starting to come in a little bit, and if it cools that track down, makes you wonder how that's going to affect the grip level of the tires. It was a little sunnier at the start of the race. Here we go with Dustin Burkhalter. He's trying to run down Steve Coubet. Just around the 2 seconds ahead of Burkhalter. Martin Roy is closer to 3 seconds behind Burkhalter there. There's Eric Elkins. He doesn't have too much of a cushion in front or behind. That was Kruger behind him. Kruger, he's under a lot of pressure by Bjorn Benches there. They're battling for 12th and 13th position overall. And Benches gets him as they go through the hairpin. Kruger trying to hang on. Bjorn Benches moves to P12 overall, 7th in class. Almost 140 miles an hour down through Eau Rouge. Topping out around as he get to about 158. Just hit 159 there before he had to get out of it. And he is starting to leave Kruger behind now just a little bit, over a second and a half now. A little further up the field, there's Carlos Lopez. He's 5th in class. He is your top 10 overall driver. Trying to put some distance between him and Eric Elkins. Elkins trying to claw his way up there. We're now at 26 minutes of the 40-minute event. There's your leader, Jaron Haslam. Boy, he's really checked out. 13 seconds ahead of Mitchell, 16 ahead of Johnson. And Jaron Haslam, he has just been on a tear this season anyway. He has really put the hammer down at darn near every event that they've been at. flying through Eau Rouge there. Let's see if he can hit 160. Not quite. I think he might have hit 159 just for a fraction of a second before he had to get out of it. But I mean, he's flying along. Let's check in with Troy Banks here. He's free and clear of Martin Roy. Well, actually, I take that back. I was looking at him wrong there. Banks, he looked like he moved to the side there, and Roy went on by. There's Martin Roy, Tommy Regan. Both him and Regan went right on by Banks. I don't know. Maybe Banks has the tires going away, possibly. That's all battle for class position there. Burkhalter's not in the picture there, but he's second overall in class. Regan's third. Roy is fourth, and Banks is fifth in class. And they're staying pretty well spaced apart here. Further on up the field here, and there's Brandon Piper. He's running third in class, fourth overall. Got a couple of cars battling there in front of him. That was Corey Mitchell trying to catch Jordan Johnson for that second place position overall. They're not battling for a class position, but Mitchell is running third overall. Johnson running second. And this course just snakes around back and forth, left and right. Other than that long stretch after Eau Rouge, you don't get a whole lot of time to catch your breath. Sean reports that Aiden Meek crashed. Let's see what happened here. He's been running pretty much by himself all day now, right there. Let's see. Oh, and he caught a little bit of that curb, and that, I believe he did that earlier in the race. This time he's not as close to the wall. I think that was him, or maybe it was somebody else, but they spun right in the exact same spot. Probably hit a little bit of that curb on the left side, coming through the left-hand part of that sequence. But he's none the worse for wear. Currently running on 9th in class, 15th overall. Here's Lopez. He's getting some pressure now from Eric Elkins. Of course, he's got a lot going on in front of him too. He's got Roy attacking Banks. Boy, there's just a lot going on here, folks. I tell you, it's almost a 4-car battle. They're all flying around that fast left-hand turn. Going down into the chicane here. Who's going to come out first? Roy is hanging on at the moment. Lopez is trying to make a run on him now. They're racing down to the hairpin. Who's going to get there? Lopez looking on the outside. I think he's got the position. Carlos Lopez now moves into 8th overall, 5th in class. We're now less than 10 minutes. We're about 8 minutes left in this race, folks. 32 minutes in. They've done 14 laps in just over a half an hour. I mean, these guys right here, I think they're going to be all battling right to the end, and probably the same with a few other groups around here. Let's jump up here to let's see, looks like Piper and them are kind of got something going on there. Brandon Piper. He's got a bit more of a cushion, though, between him and Mitchell. Mitchell not as much so from Kube. Kube has more pressure on Mitchell than Mitchell has on Piper there. And I tell you, the guys, we've seen a couple of guys, hit that rumble strip, that sausage curve coming out of that last chicane. But I tell you, other than that, man, the guys, they've been driving the wheels off these cars tonight, man. A lot of great racing here in the Apex this iRacing League. Kube rockets down to the chicane here. Oh, no, and he just was in just a little too hot. Now, he's got over 5 seconds from Burkhalter. Now, there goes Burkhalter. He got by. He had a 5-second gap, but going at those speeds that they travel, he lost that very quickly. Burkhalter moved into second position in class there. Him and Kube are different class of cars there, but now he's behind class competitor Corey Mitchell. Mitchell is down the road quite a ways, though. They're almost 7 seconds. Trying to keep that Mustang ahead of that RUF car. He's at 158, and boy, he topped out okay. Okay, folks. Yeah, some of those Mustangs, they seem like they're a little quicker in a straight line there. He was easily into the I think it was 161 or 162 I saw there. Oh, and he slides it a little bit coming out of that sweeping right-hand turn. Manages to maintain control. Kube closing in hard, less than just right around a half a second, actually. Now less than 5 minutes ago, and Kube takes it. I'm sorry, Burkhalter takes it wide there, and Kube goes right under. I think someone had said that the Supercars have a little better straight line speed, but the roofs handle a little better. And of course at Spa, you've got a little bit of both. Coming down to the chicane here. Let's see if Kube holds on to it. This time he's coming through. That's where Burkhalter got him last time, but he went through there cleanly this time. Now showing 16 laps in the book. There's your leader, Jaron Haslam. Boy, he's 23 seconds ahead of Jordan Johnson now. Haslam powering away in that roof car. You see Johnson, he's over 2 seconds there ahead of Piper. There's Piper there. Piper's got a bit of a cushion between him and Corey Mitchell. And looking back a little further, that's where more of the battling is going on. A lot of the mid-pack here is a lot of tough fighting going on. There's Kubay. Now he's managed to pull out a little bit now from Burkhalter. A bit more of a gap. As long as he keeps those corners clean, particularly that last chicane before the start-finish line. It looks like he may have the straight line speed to stay ahead of Burkhalter. He is slightly pulling ahead in the high-speed areas. And here we are with Martin Roy and the Commodore. Oh, and Elkins has just dived on the inside. Boy, that was a sweet pass there. Elkins up to P6 in class, 9th overall. It seems like some of the battles that we're seeing, probably the tire wear now is starting to play a part here. You know, as we go right down, we've got less than a minute to go actually in the race, and it's coming down now to the setup. Whose setup is kinder to the tires, because we are starting to see a bit more spacing now. Let's see, where is I saw Kubay. He looked like he was now they're not really that close. He's over a second ahead of Burkhalter still. Let's check with your leader, Haslam. He's so far ahead there. We're at 39 minutes and 40, just about 45 seconds. He's going to probably get the white flag this time as he crosses the line. We're just about to hit the 40-minute mark. Oh, and yeah, it actually expired before he crossed the line. So, yep, there he goes. Familiar territory for him. Jaron Haslam is your winner. Haslam making an easy day of it. And Haslam, he stopped there for the photo opportunity. Gonna do a little bit of a burnout there, waiting for the rest of the field to come by here. And here comes there's Jordan Johnson coming in behind Haslam. Ended up being 3 rough cars there on the podium. Brandon Piper, your third place runner now. He's waiting for Piper to come around. That's Mitchell pulling in behind Haslam there. I think they're waiting for Piper to come up here. Get to the front there. There he goes. Haslam is popping in and out there again a little bit. There's your winner, Jaron Haslam. Second position, we have Jordan Johnson. Brandon Piper there in P3 position. And it hasn't generated the finishing results yet. There may still be somebody on track that has not crossed the start-finish line yet. We still have a few guys coming around to, oh, there we go. It's finally generated for us there. Let's go ahead and bring those results up there for you. In the Supercars here, we have Corey Mitchell is your winner, Dustin Burkhalter second, Tommy Regan third, Martin Roy fourth, Kent Kruger fifth, Troy Banks sixth, Andrew Rasmussen seventh, Ismail Sierra eighth, Randy Mathis ninth, Michael Bond 10th place, Gavin Boyette is in the 11th position. In the roof class, we have Jaron Haslam, your winner, and overall winner of the entire race. Jordan Johnson second, Brandon Piper third, Steve Kubay fourth, Carlos Lopez fifth position, Eric Elkins in sixth, Bjorn Benches seventh, John Stapp in eighth position, Aiden Meek in ninth, Joseph Mayer 10th place, and Lincoln Russell classified in 11th position. And the guys are having their usual fun afterwards. But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed watching today's race here with the Apex This iRacing League, the Supercar Roof Series, the Season 3, round number 9. This is our last race here at Spa. And if you enjoyed the race, please hit that like button, share it, and subscribe so you'll know the next time we go live. For all of us here at Rice Motorsports TV, I want to wish you a pleasant evening.